The transformation has people absolutely stunned. Your phone is blowing up with old flames suddenly trying to reconnect, and friends are practically begging to know your secret. What changed? They ask, eyes wide with curiosity, and maybe even a little envy. Everyone's noticing how attractive you've become, but it's more than just your appearance. It's the confidence you're radiating, that unmistakable glow that no filter or product can fake. The way you walk into rooms now, with that quiet power like you own every step you take, it's impossible to ignore. It's your entire vibe that's shifted, and people are drawn to this new version of you, the version that has finally stepped into their power, stopped apologizing for taking up space, and decided to show up unapologetically. You've got the whole town talking, and they can't seem to stop, because the new you isn't just turning heads, you're breaking necks. And the wildest part? This is just the beginning. At first, you might think everyone's reacting to your outer glow. Maybe you changed your style, got in shape, or just started taking better care of yourself. Sure, those things count. But that's not what's really got people buzzing. The transformation they're seeing isn't just skin deep, it's your energy, it's your presence, it's who you're becoming. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone who checks all the boxes? Perfect hair, stylish clothes, a symmetrical face, but no real presence, no spark, no pull. And then there's you. When you walk into a room, people don't just see you, they feel you. They sense the shift. The way you hold your head higher, the sharpness in your eyes, the calm, commanding energy that surrounds you even when you're silent. That's what has them shook. That's what makes them stare. Because this glow-up didn't happen overnight, and it definitely wasn't accidental. It wasn't about a new haircut or hopping on a trend. It came from within. From the tough decisions you made when no one was watching. From the toxic cycles you finally broke. From the nights you chose to sit with your pain instead of running from it. From the moment you decided that you deserved more, and followed through on that decision with real, daily effort. Maybe you began prioritizing your health, your body, your mind, and your soul. You stopped feeding on junk, not just the food, but the energy. You walked away from people who drained you, from relationships that made you question your worth. You stopped shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You stopped begging for love and started becoming love. And that's when the real shift happened. The beautiful thing about glow-ups is that you don't always notice them right away. You're just living your life, healing, making better choices one day at a time. And then suddenly, you step outside and realize the world is responding to you differently. Strangers smile. Conversations flow easier. The very same people who once ignored you now want your attention. That's the power of your energy. Most people can't even explain why they're drawn to you, but they are. They're pulled in by something deeper than your looks. They're responding to your frequency, the vibration you're now living on, because when you elevate, everything about you shifts. Your voice, your walk, your aura. It all becomes a mirror of your inner growth. And the craziest part? You're not even trying. This isn't some act you're putting on, it's not a performance. You're just being you. The version of you that finally stopped shrinking, stopped apologizing for existing, and started showing up fully. And that's exactly why people can't look away. You've felt it, haven't you? That shift in the way people treat you. The way their eyes linger a little longer than before. The way their tone softens or sharpens when they speak to you. It's not just admiration, they're curious, confused, maybe even a little envious, because they can't quite figure out what changed. All they know is they can't ignore it. Your transformation has become magnetic. It's drawing people in, making them wonder, making them whisper. Some are inspired by your growth, watching you from the sidelines, hoping to absorb a piece of your energy. But others, they're triggered. Your evolution highlights the places in themselves they've avoided. Your confidence makes their insecurities impossible to hide. Your light, it reveals their shadows, and that's why they talk. Let me pause here and ask you something important. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's one thing to watch videos about the chosen ones. It's another thing entirely to live it. I've faced entities beyond this reality, the Archons, and let me tell you, they mocked the idea that we'd ever find one another, because true chosen ones, they're rare. But here you are, and suddenly people are paying attention. They're double-taking when you enter the room. Scrolling through your social media, obsessing over what's different. Since when were they so attractive, they wonder? Why do they look so different? What they don't realize is it's not a new hairstyle or a wardrobe change they're seeing. It's a new vibration. It's the weight you released when you let go of fear, of insecurities, of needing approval. It's the self-worth that now radiates in how you carry yourself, speak with clarity, and take up space without hesitation. But here's where things get real. Not everyone watching you is cheering you on. Some people whisper because they're inspired, but others whisper because they've lost the control they once had over you. Back when you were unsure of yourself, when you were still molding yourself to fit in and begging for validation, they felt safe. They liked you when you were easy to overlook. But now you walk into a room and the energy shifts. Now you're visible in a way that can't be denied, and that makes people uncomfortable. Because when you truly glow up, when you embody your power, it forces others to confront everything they've been hiding from themselves. Some people will be drawn to your light like moths to a flame. Others will flinch, disturbed by how your radiance exposes their shadows. And a few, they'll try to gaslight you. They'll tell you nothing's changed, that you're imagining it, that your glow is just temporary. But deep down, you know better. This isn't a phase. This isn't a mask. This is you, the real you, the version you were always meant to be. Whether they love it, envy it, or can't stand it, one thing's for sure. They will keep talking. Because not everyone celebrates a glow-up. Some people are flat out threatened by it. When you were just another face in the background, no one had anything to say. You were easy to overlook, easy to forget. But now that you've stepped into your power, now that your confidence is loud and your presence undeniable, suddenly everyone has something to say. It starts subtly, a backhanded compliment, a passive-aggressive jab, an odd shift in energy when you enter a room. Maybe it's an old friend who once cheered for you but now keeps their distance. Or a coworker who once smiled at you every morning but now seems irritated by your presence. Maybe it's even an ex, the one who overlooked your worth, trying to slip back into your life like nothing ever happened. It's a pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. When you were insecure, when you played small and hesitated to believe in yourself, people were at ease. They liked that version of you, the one who needed their approval, who second-guessed every step, who dimmed their own light just to make others feel more secure. But the moment you stopped apologizing for being seen, the moment you fully embraced your glow and stood in your truth, that's when the masks began to fall. And that's when you started to realize something important. Some people never truly liked you. They liked the control they had over you. They liked knowing you weren't a threat. They liked being able to feel superior because you hadn't yet stepped into your power. Even if they'd never say it out loud, they fed off of your self-doubt. Now you enter rooms with your head high, your energy unshakable, and your presence undeniable, and they resent it. The same people who once clapped for you now act distant, cold, or passive-aggressive. And the most painful part? Some of these people are the ones you thought would be happiest for you. Friends, family, the ones who said they wanted to see you win, until your wins made them question themselves. But the truth is, your glow-up didn't just change you, it changed how they saw themselves. It forced them to look inward and ask, why haven't I evolved? Why do they seem so free while I still feel stuck? And instead of choosing growth, some choose resentment. They'd rather criticize your shine than confront their own shadows. They'll try to convince you that you've changed too much, that your transformation is just a phase, that this new version of you is somehow fake or fleeting. But here's the truth they can't deny. Your beauty, your confidence, your power, it's always been inside you. The only thing that's changed is that you stopped hiding it. You stopped letting people gaslight you into believing you were average. You stopped letting them shrink you down to a version of yourself that made them feel safe. And that scares them. So let them talk. Let them question. Let them watch from the sidelines as you continue to shine. Because if your glow intimidates them, they were never meant to walk this journey with you in the first place. This transformation isn't just about a new look or a shift in confidence. It's something much deeper, something sacred. You didn't just alter your style or improve your body, you elevated your energy. And now, whether they're aware of it or not, People are responding to something far greater than your appearance. Because real attraction, it's never just physical. It's spiritual. It's energetic. It's soul deep. This glow-up, it's spiritual. When you begin to heal, when you rise and truly step into the highest version of yourself, everything about your energy shifts. You start vibrating at a higher frequency, and people can feel it. Some are drawn in like magnets, others are pushed away, but no one can ignore it. That's what makes this transformation so powerful. You're not just being noticed, you're being seen. God has been working behind the scenes, removing distractions, peeling away habits and people that kept you playing small, and revealing the radiant version of you that was always meant to shine. Now you're glowing with something that money can't buy, and no filter can replicate. A light born from alignment, from living in your purpose. But here's where it gets real. Some people simply can't handle this version of you. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your energy has become too strong for those who aren't ready for it. Think about it. Before the glow-up, when you still questioned yourself, when you were more vulnerable to others' opinions, it was easy for people to manipulate you. They had power through their words, through their presence, through the validation you used to crave. But now you know who you are. You're no longer begging for approval. You walk with self-respect that sets the standard, and those same people don't know how to handle that. They can't control you anymore, they can't keep you in the box they once put you in. And that's where the friction begins. The jealousy, the distance, the sudden tension in relationships you thought were solid. But it's not you, it's the truth your glow exposes. Real love, real support, real connection will rise with you. But the ones who were only there for the dimmed-down version of you, the version who tolerated being overlooked and undervalued, they'll begin to fall away. And that's okay. Because this glow-up was never just about getting compliments or more attention. It's about purpose. God isn't just making you more attractive to the world. He's preparing you for a new season. A season where you are not only seen but heard, respected and elevated in ways you never experienced before. And the most beautiful part? This is only the beginning. Your glow-up hasn't only changed how strangers perceive you, it's shifted your entire love life. Suddenly, people from your past, the ones who ghosted you, overlooked you, or thought they could do better, are back, sliding into your DMs like they just happened to think about you. They say they miss you, but what they really miss is the version of you that tolerated less. The one who accepted inconsistency, who didn't yet understand their own worth, who settled for crumbs while offering loyalty. But that version of you is gone. Forever. Now you know your value. You walk in confidence, and now they see what they took for granted, what they should have appreciated when they had the chance. But it's not just old flames knocking. New people are being drawn to your light too. People who see your worth, your energy, your depth. People who are aligned with the version of you that's rooted in power, self-love, and purpose. Still, even now, you must move wisely, because not everyone drawn to your light is meant to walk your path. Some are attracted to your glow, not out of love or admiration, but out of curiosity, or for what they think they can gain from being close to your shine. And that's why discernment is your new best friend. They want to be around your energy, but they have no desire or ability to match it. They're mesmerized by your glow, captivated by your confidence, inspired by the way you carry yourself. Yet when it comes down to it, they can't meet you where you are. They admire your growth from a distance, but don't have the depth or discipline to support you up close. Some are drawn to your light simply because it's rare, beautiful, and magnetic, but they don't come with pure intentions. They want to be near your fire, not to warm themselves in love, but to possess it, to drain it, or to control it. Others, threatened by your brightness, will try to dim it, subtly, passively, sometimes even with a smile. Not because you've wronged them, but because your light reflects everything they've buried within themselves. Your presence stirs up their insecurities, and instead of facing their own shadows, they make you the problem. This is where your discernment becomes sacred. Just because someone is pursuing you, complimenting you, or showing interest doesn't mean they're qualified to walk beside you. Attraction alone isn't enough, not anymore. Your energy has elevated, and now your standards must rise with it. You have to ask, do they honor your growth, or do they secretly wish for the old version of you? Do they bring peace into your life? Or does their presence bring anxiety, confusion, and chaos? Are they genuinely supportive of your evolution? Or does your transformation make them uncomfortable, even resentful? These questions matter more than ever, because your glow-up isn't about feeding the ego, it's about alignment. It's about stepping into relationships, friendships, and environments that nourish your soul, not drain it. You no longer have the luxury of entertaining energy that is inconsistent, lukewarm, or manipulative. You've come too far for that. This glow-up journey is not just about looking better or being more admired. It's about attracting the kind of love you were always worthy of. A love that doesn't feel like a battlefield. A love that doesn't require you to shrink, compromise your values, or prove your worth. A love that sees you clearly, respects you deeply, and stands beside you without fear or insecurity. The kind of love that doesn't need to lose you first in order to realize your value. So let the past stay where it belongs. Let the wrong people walk themselves out. You don't need to chase, to explain, or to beg. Your energy is now a filter, and only those who can truly appreciate it will remain. Trust that. Trust that when you live in alignment, the right people won't need convincing. They will arrive not because you chase them, but because you became the version of yourself who doesn't have to chase anything anymore. But let's be honest. Your glow-up didn't just bring admirers. It brought shadows, and not just from strangers. Some of the most unexpected people, the ones you thought would be clapping the loudest, are now the ones sitting in silence, or worse, throwing subtle shade. The same friends who once hyped you up now avoid your good news. The family members who used to ask about your dreams now change the subject when you talk about your progress. And some people, the ones who were closest to you, have grown quiet. Not because you've hurt them, but because your growth highlights where they haven't grown. Your glow makes them uncomfortable. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because you're no longer the version of you they were used to. You're no longer playing small, no longer looking for approval, no longer tolerating crumbs. And for some, that's too much to handle. You didn't betray them. You didn't forget where you came from. You simply evolved. And that was enough to trigger them. As long as you stayed insecure, unsure of your worth, hesitant to take up space, they felt comfortable around you. You were easy to control, easy to dismiss, easy to keep beneath them. But now you've shifted. Now you walk in truth. You speak with clarity. You move like someone who knows they're chosen. And that threatens people who only knew how to love you when you didn't fully love yourself. That's when the real spiritual tests begin. Because as your elevation increases, so do the attacks. You'll feel it. Through gossip, through jealousy, through people questioning your happiness under the guise of concern. You'll hear things like, "You've changed. Are you sure this is who you are?" Or the classic, "I liked you better before." But don't be fooled. These aren't compliments, and they're not genuine worries. They are projections. Echoes of discomfort from people who secretly miss the version of you who made them feel superior. They miss the one who tolerated mistreatment, who lacked boundaries, who didn't yet realize their value. But that version of you no longer exists, and thank God for that. Because now you see clearly. Now you've built spiritual armor. You understand that energy is everything, and some people are energy vampires in disguise. If you're not careful, their projections, their envy, their low vibrations can drain your light. They will try to make you second-guess yourself, to lower your frequency, to make you feel guilty for becoming who you were always destined to be. And that's why protecting your energy is no longer optional, it's essential. Your elevation demands boundaries. Your peace is sacred. Your light is not for everyone, and that's okay. They'll try to pull you back into old habits, old mindsets, old cycles you've already outgrown. Not because they want what's best for you, but because your evolution makes them uncomfortable. You used to fit into their narrative, into their comfort zone. Now your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. They'll try to guilt you, manipulate you, even gaslight you into believing you've changed too much. And you have, but for the better. So how do you protect yourself in a world that doesn't always celebrate elevation? First, stop explaining yourself. You owe no one a justification for your healing, your growth, or your transformation. Real friends, real love, real connection, they don't question your evolution, they celebrate it. If someone constantly needs you to explain why you're changing, they were never rooting for your rise in the first place. Second, have the courage to cut ties when necessary. Not everyone is meant to journey with you into your next season. Some people were only assigned to the earlier chapters of your story, and that's okay. If someone's energy starts feeling off, trust that. Don't rationalize red flags. Don't water yourself down just to keep them comfortable. Their discomfort is their responsibility, not yours. Third, protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Your glow doesn't come from a new outfit or a change in hairstyle. It comes from your spirit, it comes from the deep, intentional work you've done behind the scenes. So guard that. Use energy cleansing, journaling, meditation, prayer, whatever helps you stay rooted in who you are becoming. Because here's the truth, if you allow toxic energy to linger, your light dims, and your glow-up deserves to last. At the end of the day, you have two choices. Dim your light to keep others comfortable, or shine boldly and let the right people rise with you. And trust me, the ones who truly belong in your life won't just accept your light, they'll match it. They'll protect it. This glow-up? It's not temporary. It's not surface level. It's not about vanity or validation. It's the beginning of something divine. You didn't do all this inner work just to stop here. You didn't survive the storms you faced just to plateau now. Because when you finally begin to see yourself clearly, when you own your worth without hesitation, the universe responds. Doors start opening. Opportunities start flowing. The things you once dreamed about, the people you once chased, the love you once begged for, they start appearing effortlessly. Not because you're lucky, but because you're aligned. And the blessings, they're not always loud. They don't always show up as applause or likes or praise. The real blessings come in the quiet moments, when your mind is at peace, when your heart feels full, when you realize you're no longer searching for things outside of you to feel whole. The biggest blessing? That clarity, that peace, that unshakable inner knowing that you're finally walking the path you were meant to walk. You're not chasing anymore, you're attracting. You're not doubting yourself anymore, you're trusting. You're not waiting for permission to shine, you're giving it to yourself. And that shift, that inner power is what makes this more than a glow-up. This is an awakening. And yes, with this new level comes new responsibility. Because the more you shine, the more you'll be tested. Not everyone will cheer for you. Some will try to bring you down, disguise their envy as concern, or stay close just to monitor your progress. You'll face spiritual attacks, negativity, resistance, jealousy, but you're equipped for this. These aren't signs that you're on the wrong path. They're confirmations that you're leveling up. Your light will attract attention. Your spirit will stir something in others. And not everyone will handle it well. Some will try to hold you back. Some will hope you stumble. But their opinions? Irrelevant. Your focus now has to be razor sharp. Stay focused on your purpose. Stay focused on your healing. Stay focused on the bigger picture. Because this journey was never about proving people wrong. It was about proving yourself right. It was about realizing that you are more than enough. That you were never meant to beg for love, fight for validation, or settle for less. You were meant to rise, to shine, to lead, to be a walking reminder that breaking generational patterns is possible, that choosing healing over chaos is powerful, that self-love is revolutionary. And as you continue to step into this new season, know this. The blessings coming your way are limitless. More abundance, better relationships, deeper connections, greater peace. But the greatest blessing of all? You. The version of you that no longer needs external validation. The version of you that knows you are the table, that you were never meant to blend in. You were born to stand out. So keep going, keep rising, keep shining. Not with apology, not with fear, but with bold, divine certainty. This glow-up wasn't just a phase, it's a revelation, a return to your true self. A spiritual reminder that you've always had this power. You've always had this light. And now the world is finally seeing it. But even if they don't, shine anyway. Love anyway. Rise anyway. Because your purpose doesn't require their approval. It only requires your obedience to the truth of who you really are. And you, chosen one, you were never meant to be hidden. You were always meant to lead. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten Wisdom.